Hello everyone and welcome to your collective tarot guidance for the week of October the 24th, 2022. We have a really powerful week due to the upcoming tomorrow solar eclipse, partial solar eclipse, so new moon in the sign of Scorpio. And what more should I say? It is going to be very, very scorpionic. And eclipses work usually against, for example, tarot. It would not be advised to do a tarot reading on the day or a day before and after an eclipse because it is eclipsed. But when it comes to Scorpio, well, maybe things are right now a little bit different because there is a lot of information coming in because perhaps the eclipse eclipses the blockages, eclipses the toxicity, the illusions as well. So we might see for a very, very short period of time, and when I say this symbolically, of course, things, our lives, the self, other people, everything of the big picture, the small picture in a slightly different way. And maybe that will be the truest impression we'll ever get anyway. So my personal opinion is that this Scorpio eclipse tomorrow is going to act in a way favorably to divination because the general rule is that eclipses are eclipses, so darkness you can't see. And neither should we invite information into the world from the darkness because without light we don't know what comes through. We can be deceived in such a way. That is also why it's not very advised to do certain things at eclipses only if you really, really, really know what you're doing and it's part of your repertoire and it has some alchemical or astrological logic or sense to it. But otherwise, at eclipses we reflect. We reflect and we see what happens, what changes, what disappears forever, perhaps. And again, I'm using a tarot deck that I fell in love with. And this tarot deck is, definitely for my inner child. So again, I thank the very dear friend who gifted it to me. King of Cups reversed. Queen of Pentacles. Three of Cups reversed. Nine of Swords. Well, this isn't looking all that. The Hermit reversed. Well, it is what it is. I'm afraid. Well, immediately the King of Cups reversed represents a powerful, powerful emotional purging. So emotions are definitely gonna be triggered. There is gonna be a lot of release here. And Also, the King of Cups reversed can represent healing tears, especially for male viewers. But we also have the Queen of Cups here, so yeah. The King of Cups reversed with the Queen of Cups upright usually represents like purging, healing tears, powerful emotional release. The Queen of Pentacles represents that we need to provide ourselves with a certain continuity. So our lives may get very, very busy, disrupted in so very many different ways by this powerful emotional release that is upcoming. And you can imagine that collectively speaking, all of this energy can play out. Something saddens us collectively, for example, or we are called to forgive collectively, memory of something collectively. But anyway, so that means it's already a challenge. It is already diverting our attention to the emotional world. But the Queen of Pentacles kind of asks us to, okay, that is absolutely necessary to face those emotions, to face those, you know, emotional reactions to certain things that might be happening in our lives, because the emotional release and the purges are not just gonna happen as out of nowhere. Something in life out of one area of life is ultimately gonna trigger it, but we need to hold our stability. We cannot lose ground. We cannot back off. We cannot stop, for example, working. We cannot stop being present in our lives because there is a lot of important things happening. So we need to be very, very present in our lives and provide for ourselves and whatever this means for different people. But the Three of Cups reversed, now this can mean disruptions in friendships. This can also mean that, you know, the powerful emotional releases don't just affect one person, but more than one. Maybe family discussions, family topics, because sometimes the Three of Cups can represent that, and turning inward, emotionally turning very, very inward. This is where perhaps we even distance ourselves from any external source of inspiration, what the Three of Cups would represent. And the Nine of Swords with the Hermit reversed, this is where, for some people, it is gonna be a reality check that they can become lonely, they can become isolated, that how much help do they truly have in their lives? If things would go not so good, who would actually help them? So I do see this as a different kind of reality check, as in, who can you rely upon? And with the lovers reversed, for some people, this will be, discussions in relationships or contracts or at work. So this is gonna, time is here to make a move, make a choice, to make a decision. And it's uncomfortable because, emotionally you might not feel ready, or emotionally you are, not necessarily in the right place, but, you know, you might feel very, very stressed because that anxious a bit, that time is up, that, things need to sort themselves out, that certain, dates, times, meetings, if you're waiting for responses, replies from what on authority or court of justice or whatever, that there will be a lot on your mind, so to speak. But the Seven of Pentacles with the Queen of Cups, this purge basically puts us in the right, as in what the reality of our situation, both personally and collectively, is. Now, of course, it's not easy because with a lot of things, Simply, we cannot do anything other than wait and stay optimistic. Everything that is out of our league. But there is so much in our league that happened already in our lives that is definitely not a disappointment. As in, we truly have a lot of reasons to trust ourselves, to trust our instincts, to trust our very, very closest allies, our very, very closest friends, even if the landscape of friendships is changing. People come, people go, people's situation change, but we can very much adapt to the change. So that is the Five of Swords reversed. You can trust your instinct. You can sometimes the instinct is much more correct or precise than, you know, the rational thought or even the common sense. And Scorpio is all about instincts. So, what do your instincts tell you with a choice, with a situation, whatever this Nine of Swords is stressing you out, and whatever you cannot trust the opinion, the advice of others, you feel very, very alone in something, and you don't know there's basically no one really to help you because the help you need is something that you must do or come up with or you must decide or you must figure out. So maybe this is where this eclipse does help you, whatever you're purging, but there is something else, emotionally speaking, coming in. Let's see if we have any advice. Yeah, the Hangman. Ace of Wands reversed, King of Swords reversed, the High Priest reversed. Turn, you know, turnarounds of situations. This is where exactly where you thought you can advance the most, that becomes blocked in any way, shape, and form. So you might feel this hangman, the need to get back into the cocoon because you need to again figure something out. The high priest, a contract. Are you signing it or not? When is the date? When is the time? And the King of Swords as well. The big plan, well, all of a sudden there's a reroute or a roadblock and you need to make a new route. And the Ace of Wands, but you cannot hurry, you cannot push it, you cannot force it. So, yes, we can also expect this Hangman moment. Well, of course, Hangman, because the eclipse, it will really, really bring everything to the surface. Any guidance? Yeah. Emperor, Five of Pentacles, face it. Whatever comes up, face it. Don't be afraid of it. Nine of Swords. The Hermit. Yes, whatever your situation, you have no choice but to face it. Be brave, because the Emperor, you can. It will not overcome you. Definitely not. And also, help those who you can, of course, those who are less favorable than you. And I also brought another deck, and I would like to just draw a few cards from there. So, yeah. If there is any world event or anything we would need to know, the builder, so that's the emperor, the empress, the high priestess. How unusual. 2 3 4 3 2. And all major arcana. The yeah, this would be the Knight of Cups, Ace of Cups, Queen of Cups, Six of Swords. Well, something definitely massive is happening. A situation is revealed, the High Priestess, about the harvest, the Empress. So what does the harvest mean? It might mean literal harvest, where in some parts of the world they're in trouble because agriculturally were struck, and this becomes obvious, and negotiations and stuff like that. And for the sake of negotiations, the builder, something is done, something is decided, something is put in action. So, and this Empress can also the gardener here, of course. Financial situation, world bank economy. Scorpio is all about that. This is Taurus. Scorpio is the opposite sign of Taurus. So, money, debt, finances, economic situation, what is available and what is not, the resources that the builder has to build with ultimately. So, Emperor and Empress, an alliance also, masculine and feminine, and the High Priestess. This can also represent spiritual. The Six of Air, we have to move on. It's something will show us the need to move on. And whatever this is, there is definitely blessing in it. The big picture is ultimately benevolent, positive. Nine of Fire, so Nine of Wands, and Explorer of Fire, so Page of Fire, Wands. So we need to endure. We need to stay strong. We need to stay, within the heart. We need not allow the mind to descend into fear. We simply need to focus on the present, live in the present, and just know that there is a lot of hope in the future. So this is quite promising. So I think I'm going to leave it at that. Thank you so much, everyone, for listening. And until next time, bye for now.